Heidi by Johanna Spyri. The Swiss Alps have been Heidi's entire world, a breathtaking expanse of emerald meadows, thundering waterfalls, and air so pure it tasted like cold spring water. But in a single, heart-wrenching moment, that world was ripped away. Her aunt's firm grip dragged her from the only home she'd ever known, down the mountain and into the suffocating, stone-gray labyrinth of Frankfurt. Now, trapped in a gilded cage of a mansion, every tick of the ornate clock echoed her despair. Strange rules replaced the wind song. Stern faces judged her every move, and at night, a terrifying, unconscious force began to pull her from her bed, sleepwalking toward a door that could never lead her home. Her spirit was fading, her health crumbling. Was the mountain girl destined to be extinguished in this cold, foreign place, or could a secret, sleeping rebellion within her forge a path back to the light? Please like and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming amazing classic book summaries. Heidi by Johanna Spyri. Young Heidi, a 5-year-old orphan, is taken up the Swiss Alps by her Aunt Diet to live with her reclusive grandfather, known as Alm-Uncle. The journey is long and tiring under the hot sun, with Heidi bundled in layers of clothes. Diet is determined to leave Heidi with the old man, so she can take a job in Frankfurt. Along the way, they meet a woman named Barbel who warns Diet about Alm-Uncle's solitary, gruff nature and mysterious past, but Diet is resolute. They arrive at the grandfather's simple hut high on the mountain. The old man, with his bushy eyebrows and long beard, is initially stern and resistant. Diet hastily explains that as Heidi's grandfather, he must now care for her, then quickly departs, leaving the bewildered child behind. Heidi, however, is unafraid. She explores the hut and the stunning alpine surroundings with curiosity and delight. Heidi quickly adapts to life with her grandfather. She sheds her restrictive city clothes, eager to run free like the goats. The grandfather, though outwardly rough, shows her kindness, preparing a soft bed of hay in the loft for her. Heidi is enchanted by the fir trees singing in the wind and the 2 gentle goats, Little Swan and Little Bear, that her grandfather tends. The next day, Heidi joins the young goat herd, Peter, to take the goats up to the pastures. She is captivated by the sea of flowers, the soaring birds, and the majestic mountain views. She learns the goats' names and personalities, particularly bonding with a little one called Snowflake. As the sun sets, it sets the mountain peaks ablaze with fiery colors, a sight that fills Heidi with awe. Winter arrives, covering the mountain in deep snow. Peter visits the hut and tells Heidi he must go to school in the village below, which he finds difficult. Heidi's grandfather teaches her practical skills. During a lull in the storms, Heidi insists on visiting Peter's grandmother, a blind old woman who lives in a run-down cottage. Heidi's cheerful presence brings immense joy to the grandmother. Heidi visits the grandmother regularly, bringing her comfort and describing the world outside. She is heartbroken to learn the grandmother cannot see. She notices the grandmother's house is drafty and falling apart. Moved by compassion, Heidi convinces her grandfather to help. He comes down the mountain and repairs the cottage, bringing safety and relief to the old woman. Spring returns. A village pastor visits Alm-Uncle, urging him to send Heidi to school. The grandfather refuses, fearing the dangerous journey down the mountain in winter and believing the child is happy and healthy with him. He argues fiercely, revealing a protective love for Heidi that surprises the pastor. Soon after, Aunt Diet returns unexpectedly. She has arranged for Heidi to go to Frankfurt as a companion for Clara Cece Man, a wealthy, sickly girl confined to a wheelchair. She paints a picture of luxury and opportunity. Despite the grandfather's furious objections, Diet manipulates Heidi and leads the confused child away from the mountain she loves. Heidi arrives at the Grand Cece Man house in Frankfurt. She is overwhelmed by its size and formality. She meets Clara, a kind but frail girl, and the strict, disapproving housekeeper, Fräulein Rottenmeier. Heidi's simple ways, country manners, and inability to read are immediately seen as deficiencies. She feels trapped within the walls of the enormous house. Heidi struggles with her lessons. The tutor finds her unable to grasp the alphabet. She is constantly scolded for her lack of etiquette. One day, longing for a glimpse of the outside world, she convinces a servant to open a large window, but only sees more streets and houses, not the grass and mountains she craves. Her homesickness deepens. Driven by a desperate need to see a vast horizon, Heidi convinces a street boy to lead her to the highest church tower in the city. The climb is long and scary, but when she reaches the top, she is devastated to see only an endless sea of chimneys and rooftops, not the green valleys of home. On her way down, she discovers a mother cat with kittens in the tower keeper's room. Overcome with delight, Heidi secretly brings 2 kittens back to Clara. The hidden kittens are discovered during dinner, causing chaos and terror for the cat-phobic Fräulein Rottenmeier. Heidi is severely punished, but the incident creates a bond between her and Clara, who finds the whole event thrilling. More disruptions follow. An organ grinder boy arrives, asking for Clara, and a tortoise wanders into the study. Fräulein Rottenmeier is convinced the house is in chaos because of Heidi. Heidi, meanwhile, saves her soft white dinner rolls to take back to the grandmother in the Alps, hiding them in her wardrobe. Clara's grandmother comes to visit. She is a wise and gentle lady who immediately sees Heidi's unhappiness. She encourages Heidi to learn to read, not through force, but by promising her a beautiful book of mountain shepherd tales. Motivated by this goal, Heidi finally breaks through her mental block and learns to read with astonishing speed. Despite this achievement, Heidi grows paler and weaker. She is consumed by a powerful homesickness. At night, she dreams of the mountains and wakes up crying. She prays every night to God to let her go home. But when her prayers seem unanswered, she loses hope and stops praying, feeling utterly alone. Clara's grandmother tenderly explains to Heidi that God hears all prayers, but sometimes answers them in his own time and way. She encourages Heidi to trust and pray again. Heidi regains a sliver of hope, but her health continues to decline. She becomes a sleepwalker, driven by her subconscious longing. A mysterious event begins to terrify the household. The front door is found unlocked and wide open every morning. The servants whisper about a ghost. Fräulein Rottenmeier is in a state of constant fear. Sebastian and another servant try to keep watch but flee in terror, claiming to have seen a white apparition. Her CC man returns home early due to frantic letters about the ghost and Clara's deteriorating health, which is actually linked to Heidi's sadness. He and a friend, a doctor, decide to keep watch themselves one night. They lie in wait in the dark, armed with revolvers to solve the mystery. Late that night, the door slowly opens. In the moonlight stands a small, white figure. Is Heidi walking in her sleep? The doctor gently intervenes. He questions the sleepy, confused child and diagnoses her severe homesickness and sleepwalking. He declares the only cure is to send her back to the mountain air immediately. Her CC man, though sad for Clara, agrees. Heidi is awakened early and told she is going home. She can hardly believe her joy. Clara gives her gifts and a basket of soft white rolls for the grandmother. In a whirlwind, Heidi is placed in a carriage with Sebastian, who accompanies her on the first long leg of the journey back to Switzerland. The journey home feels endless to Heidi. Finally, she arrives in the village of Dorfly and is driven up to the familiar mountain path. She runs the last stretch herself, her heart pounding. She bursts into the grandmother's cottage, and the two share a tearful, joyful reunion. Heidi presents the rolls, fulfilling her long-held promise. Heidi then races up to her grandfather's hut. The old man is sitting outside as if he never moved. Overcome with emotion, she cries out, "Grandfather," and hugs him tightly. He is deeply moved, his stern exterior melting away. Heidi is home. She runs to greet Peter and the goats, who swarm around her as if they never forgot their friend. Life on the mountain returns to its joyful rhythm. Heidi's health and spirit are restored instantly. She reads to the grandmother, helps Peter with his studies, and soaks in the beauty of the Alps. Her grandfather, transformed by her return, becomes more open and even begins attending church in the village, reconciling with the community. The following summer, Clara and her grandmother come to visit, fulfilling a promise. Clara is carried up the mountain. She revels in the pure air, the sounds, and the views. Heidi encourages her to try to stand. With great effort and the grandfather's strong support, Clara takes her first wobbly steps on the sun-warmed grass. Through daily practice in the strengthening mountain environment, Clara grows stronger and eventually learns to walk properly. It is a miracle of nature, friendship, and perseverance. When Clara and her grandmother depart, it is with promises of future visits. Heidi remains on her beloved mountain with her grandfather, knowing she is where she truly belongs, surrounded by beauty, love, and the freedom of the Alps. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Classic Book Summaries so you don't miss the next book summary.